Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new episode of a NASCAR Heat 5 career mode here on the channel. I hope you're all having a great day. We are coming off of a up and down episode, let's call it, at the road course in Mid-Ohio in that last episode where we qualified pole for the second Mid-Ohio race in a row. We had a lot of speed, led laps, won a stage, and unfortunately it all came to a crashing halt when Tyler Reddick decided he was going to bulldoze us off the circuit, and we weren't quite able to recover from that. And then you add on the late race caution with the awkward timing during the green flag pit stop cycle. It set us back and we didn't quite get the finish we deserved. We still did get a still competitive top 10 result, and it was nice to be back in the top 10 as we roll into this short track swing. We had the West Coast swing earlier in the season, now we got the short track swing. We got Richmond today, we have Bristol coming up, Martinsville as well, and Richmond, not a track that I am historically very good at in past NASCAR Heat 5 videos, so I really have pretty low expectations here today. I'm not expecting to continue the top 10 streak. In practice, got off to a bit of a rough start, got into the outside wall on the exit of turn 4, just really struggling for downright pace, and the car just didn't drive the way I needed it to. And Richmond is one of those tracks where you kind of have to work on the car all race long, I feel like, and it's not very often you have that in NASCAR Heat 5, so it is a nice change. But my laps towards the end of practice got a little bit better. Lap 4 and 5 were my two quickest ones of the practice session, so I was pretty excited to see that at least now as we roll through into qualifying. Got the top golf colors back on this number 16 colleague machine here now as we would roll through into our qualifying lap. The goal, a 20.845 here now as we roll through 1 and 2, missing the apex there. Not a good 1, 2 on the exit, getting into the wall a little bit, so we already know we're not going to get a very good qualifying position. We dive down into 3 and 4, clip the apron on the inside. That's not going to help us either, so it's a pretty scrappy lap. It gets even worse. It's not a good start to the weekend. It's a 21-2, and that puts us 23rd here in the Toyota Owners 400 now. I guess that's what we get for driving a Chevy in a Toyota-sponsored race. I don't know what's going on with Todd Gilliland's number, but yeah, it is a bit messed up. But AJ Allmendinger, our teammate, in 31st. Our other teammate, Hemrick, in 27th. Shane Van Gisbergen in his second oval race of the season here today. We'll see what he can do in the 91 car. Chastain on pole over Elliott, Larson, Byron, and Hamlin. Suarez, his teammate, up there in P6. Trucks, Frankie Muniz picked up his first win in Martinsville of his Truck Series career. How about that? He will fight for a Truck Series championship this season as he does now advance into a playoff guarantee so far. The Xfinity side of things, I didn't do any of the races this weekend, but we had Sheldon Creed pick up the victory. Quite coincidental timing considering what happened this past weekend in Martinsville, but yeah, now he will be in the Xfinity playoffs. Let's get ready to roll on Sunday in Richmond.
It's time for some short track racing. Welcome to NASCAR's short track swing, starting in Richmond and ending in Clint.
Sorry, Mike, but I am just so excited for this stretch of races. We have Richmond, Bristol, and the big clock in Martinsville waiting for us. May I mention that both Kevin and I have won there?
Yeah, those were some great times. I've won here too as well, and I can tell you this is one of the most unique short tracks on the schedule. These drivers will be challenged all day long and have to keep up with their cars.
All right, bud, we'll be trying to keep up with the track all day long. Just keep giving us updates on what you need.
Yeah, 10-4 guys, let's have fun today. Not a huge fan of this track, so I'll give it everything I have and hopefully we get a top 10, top 15. We do have a team meeting coming up in the next episode or the following one. Somewhere throughout the short track swing, there is a colleague team meeting to kind of address everything with the team. Tyler Reddick, Brad Kozlowski going to the back here now. Good on Reddick. Karma right there as we're ready to roll. But the main reason for the team meeting is myself and Allmendinger have been running well, but our teammate of Hemrick's only had one good race, and that was Atlanta. He struggled hard basically everywhere else. Ross Chastain, the Watermelon Bush Machine, out in front as the green flag is out, and we're racing here from Richmond. Right behind Ty Gibbs in the number 54. You got as well on our right side, just behind actually, is Carson Hocevar, one of the Rookie of the Year contenders, and I think he's going to win it this year over Josh Berry as Stewart-Haas Racing continues to struggle. I'm hearing next episode, very likely, we're going to have an announcement coming from Stewart-Haas Racing. Is it going to be potentially they're selling the team? I don't know. I'm really not sure sure exactly what to expect out of that, but stay tuned. Next episode, there's going to be an announcement there, as Tony Stewart has already scheduled a media obligation going into the Bristol Motor Speedway weekend. Lap 1 complete, P20, John Hunter Nemechek there in that Legacy Motor Club Toyota. On the outside, a big stack up on the inside, not quite sure what happened there, but I think it was the 43 of Jones, and Truex nearly came together, so we damaged the front end. We were 3 wide into turn 1. We roll out of 2, getting past Gibbs, who doesn't seem to have a lot of speed early on. He's been so good in his sophomore season so far, just a little bit better than we have been, but I feel like him and I had such similar, rookie seasons fighting for the last spot in the playoffs, and now we've had really similar starts to our second seasons in the Cup Series, so it's kind of fun to have this battle with Ty Gibbs now as we are up the inside of our former teammate of Haley, but here comes LaJoy in the Andretti Global car. He goes past me and gains like 3 positions in one corner, and then his teammate's going to follow me after I pass the 3 of Austin Dillon. Here comes Hocevar. Andretti, very hit or miss so far this season. Of course, you kind of expect that from a new team. Of course, they did win the Daytona 500 with Corey LaJoy, but both of their cars today looking strong. Moving forward, here's them up the inside of the Dr. Pepper machine, one of the new paint schemes made there of Bubba Wallace, as we're going to pass him. The Atlanta winner, he's had a rough season, but he won the Atlanta race, so it kind of puts all the issues to rest a little bit here. As I would run down Carson Hocevar, Shane Van Gisbergen right now running in P14 on the exit of turn 2, contact right there with the 26 of Hocevar into turn 3. That unsettles him enough to send him sliding into 3 and 4. He saves it, but the damage is done.
Please apologize, I did not mean to do it. I'll make it up to him if it gets back to me.
Not what I wanted to do. If you guys remember last time we came here in the spring in Season 1, I got probation at this very race for all the shenanigans I caused. This is a track that I've just never, vibed with. Here comes my teammate of Allmendinger. Allmendinger's been, textbook terrible qualifier this season, really good racer. He's been, picking up positions all season long. He passes me, he passes SVG. I'm looking up the inside, coming to the final lap of SVG in stage 1 here. Now is that number 91 kind of fading a little bit longer into the run, which you kind of expect from a guy that has extremely limited oval experience. If Shane Van Gisbergen comes out of his first ever short track race in a cup car with a top 25, I would consider that a success, as he drops a P16 as stage 1 comes to a close. Only 15th. Now that is a gain from where we started, but clearly some adjustments are needed.
I don't really know exactly what we need, guys. It's kind of freeing up as the long run goes on, but it needs to be a little bit more snug, but then it's also tight on the short run.
Let me see what I can do here. We'll make some swings at it.
And we also, on top of the adjustments here that you can see being made, have 2 seconds of repairs from that damage we picked up right at the beginning of the race in that big stack up on the inside. So we lose 2 spots out of that. SVG, Michael McDowell gain a spot per both of them. Chastain did win stage 1, leads the way for the start of stage 2. Right alongside him, the 17 of Chris Buescher, that RFK team, looking like the strongest Ford team so far this season. Penske, we really haven't seen a lot out of Penske. We have, of course, seen nothing out of the Stewart-Haas Racing camp. They have been so bad now, and it continues today. Kyle Busch, actually, another driver that's really struggled. Richard Childress Racing. If you guys remember Season 1, Richard Childress really struggled to begin the season, and then Bristol was where things started to turn around. Do they kind of have a similar start to Season 2? Well, we're going into Bristol next episode where Kyle Busch picked up the win in quite dramatic fashion with everybody running out of field. We'll see what he can do. But yeah, it's not been a good start to the season for Kyle Busch, but yet Austin Dillon has had some kind of moments of showing some speed. As I get into the left rear of Martin Truex Jr., not what I wanted to do, just understeering really, really hard on the exit of the corner. Fortunately, it doesn't lead to anything, and Truex continues on in the right direction. I get past SVG and now up into 13th place. New leader at this point in time, Chris Buescher. It's a really long stage, 37 laps here, so if this goes green the whole way, we have got a very good long green flag run to really get an idea of where we need to go with this car, but it's pretty obvious that the adjustments that our crew chief has made have put us in the right direction, because we are moving forward past at 24. My teammate of Allmendinger running up in the top 5 now, but the caution comes out early on here in the stage. No need to pit, because with this caution, it will allow us to make it to the end of the stage without having to make a pit stop. However, if a caution comes out towards the end of the stage, I guarantee you're going to see everybody coming to the pits. Hocevar down in 29th right now. He has not been able to rebound, unfortunately. Ryan Blaney, Eric Almirola at the back of the grid right now in the 12 and 21 have both come into the pits. I'm going to assume Blaney was the reason for the caution. I don't see why he'd be running that bad as we are back underway down towards turn number 1. Alex Bowman on my inside. Suarez in the UPS machine alongside the 22 of Logano just in front of us there. As Alex Bowman has had a heck of a interesting story this season. Of course, he was winless last season in 2023, but this season he's gotten off to really good starts in these races, qualifies well, kind of does the first half of the race pretty well, and then the last half of the race he just really falls off a cliff. So that 48 team, really just looking at them to turn things around here today or sometime throughout the short track swing and start to click off some top 10s. Chris Buescher still leads over now the 20 of Christopher Bell, last season's regular season champion. Now as I pass Corey LaJoie, past Joey Logano, into the top 10 we go. For my history at Richmond in NASCAR Heat 5, a top 10 is a win to me. Up the inside now of the 99 into turn 1, we're going to clear him on lap 17. Suarez under attack from the 24 of Byron, who's trying to move his way back forward. My teammate of Allmendinger up there in front of us, passing Kyle Larson now for 7th place. Is look behind me in my mirror. That's the 41 of Ryan Preece, and as well just behind him, the 38 of Todd Gilliland. Front Row Motorsports having a really good day here because not only is Gilliland up towards the top 10, so is Michael McDowell, and we haven't seen McDowell have a great day since Auto Club early in the season when he had a car, capable of running in the top 5. Caution, out 14 laps ago in stage 2. That's going to force everybody into the pit lane here now as Buescher continues to lead, but now he's got the JGR duo of Bell and Hamlin second and third. More adjustments coming to the car here. This time just a little bit more wedge as well, changing the right side tire pressures, the left side tire pressures, you name it, we're messing with it right now because this car just needs active changes to get somewhere. A lot of different swaps and positions here in the pits, but we don't move around too much. But Chastain is really dropped. He's down to P8 after, dominating stage 1, leading at the beginning of the stage, fading backwards here now as we go down towards turn 1. 2 cars stayed out. The cars that pitted under the last yellow, the 12, as well as the 21, both out in front right now. My teammate of Allmendinger dropped behind us there in the pit lane as we dive down into turn 3. I'm going to get into this free space on the inside behind the 41 because look at Almirola and that 21 Smithfield machine. He is dropping like a rock. Now, Ryan Blaney is going to be in the same situation because they're on like 20-lap old tires. So we're just going to choose the right lane to go, and this is really going to benefit our running position. Actually, a bit of contact there with the Smithfield machine doesn't lead to anything, thankfully. So we continue to just go up the inside, passing Preece, passing Blaney, bringing my teammate of Allmendinger with me as the 17 of Buescher continues to lead with less than 10 to go in stage number 2 as he tries to hold off Denny Hamlin, Kyle Larson, Elliott, and Bowman rounding out the top 5. 300 cars there as I let my teammate of Allmendinger go. He was just too quick for me, and as well, so was the one of Chastain, who has such a quick car, just not quite the track position right now. So he passes me. Hamlin was continuing to run down that 17 of Buescher, so he was putting some pressure on him. As you can see, Bowman, I talked about this earlier, kind of fades later in the race, and we were now passing him on the exit of turn 2. He had dropped back a few spots. We now take 7th place from him, and Christopher Bell, he's trying to work his way back forward as well after a poor pit stop and restart. As you can see, though, by the final lap in stage number 2, it's actually Denny Hamlin who got the lead from Chris Buescher. Behind me, Carson Hocevar was actually able to go through the field, including Christopher Bell, get to P8. Hamlin wins stage number 2. We exit turn 4, P7 in the stage. Very, very happy with that running position, honestly. And then, of course, you add in our teammate in 6th. Unfortunately, just don't know what's going wrong with Daniel Hemrick and the 31 team. And it is early in the season, but as we know, time runs out quickly in the regular season, and I'm hoping that we can get all 3 cars, fighting for playoff positions. But yeah, Hemrick is really, really struggling right now. 23-11, Bubba Wallace and Tyler Reddick both running 32nd and 33rd. Rough days for them. Shane Van Gisbergen has dropped down to 36th place as well. More adjustments for us. we're going to get back rolling here now for stage 3. Hamlin, Elliott, the front row, Buescher, Chastain, Allmendinger, Larson, then myself alongside Hocevar as we're back underway. Lap 60 of 100. 41 laps of racing. A big shove to the back of my teammate of Allmendinger. That's going to give him the opportunity to get aggressive into turn 1 3 wide on Buescher as well as Chastain. AJ Allmendinger up to third, now for second on Chase Elliott as we're trying to stick our nose up the inside of the 17 3 wide into the corner. Hamlin looking for his first win, of course, on the season, and as well, I don't think Toyota does have one win with Bubba Wallace, of course, from Atlanta, so they're looking for win number 2 here on this season. Chase Elliott, of course, has been the dominant driver in terms of race victories. 3 wins, 2 of them he's just kind of stolen at the end. He stole it at Auto Club from Truex. He stole it in Mid-Ohio on the restart as well from Tyler Reddick in the last episode, and he would actually take the lead from Denny Hamlin as my teammate of Allmendinger starting to fade backwards, and we were up the inside of him. Here I am making a pass for 4th place in Richmond. What a day this is turning into, and this is just building my confidence not for today but for the upcoming 2 short track races of Bristol as well as Martinsville. I think we have very real chances to get our first career win in those next 2 episodes, depending on, of course, how things play out there. But after that, I'm kind of circling Charlotte Motor Speedway or Kansas as the next one to hopefully fight as the caution is out again with 36 to go. This puts us right in the fuel window, so everybody's going to come in. We might see some really different strategies right here. Shane Van Gisbergen back into the top 30, by the way, but it looks like Earl Bamber brings out the victory. But half a can of fuel is all we need, but I do 1 can, and we do right side tires. No adjustments this time because, well, we're running 4th. I'm pretty happy with how we are. And look at this. We lose 3, but some drivers gain 4, like the 14 of Briscoe. And now to the lead, it's Chase Elliott, but as well, Keselowski gains 6 positions and is alongside myself. A shot to the back of the 1 machine as we dive down towards turn 1. Briscoe's going 3 wide. Where's SHR come from today? They got half their team running in the top 5 just about. Here goes Priest, who forced it 3 wide up the inside of myself. Briscoe to the lead, the first time I think SHR has led this season. He will lead the team's first lap on the exit of 4, and he's bringing Ryan Priest with them. The 2 cars on the team that have a 1 and a 4 in their numbers, because the 4 and the 10 of Barry and Burton not running very good. That's for sure. Now as we exit turn 2 alongside that 13 of Allmendinger now, as you can see in my rear view mirror, Buescher fading, Truex closing. Now what does that number 19 car have, as Chastain is able to get back the lead though as Briscoe starts to fade, and so does Ryan Priest. We go up the inside trying to pass Chase Elliott, who's kind of stuck behind this 14 car, so a nice opportunity to do exactly this. We're sure enough going to pass them through 1 and 2 up into 4th. Do I see P3 available? McDowell as well following me through into the top 5, but up the inside of Ryan Priest on the exit of 4 would allow me to side draft him, pull him back, and then sure enough through 1 and 2 we just moved ourselves into 3rd place here from Richmond. I don't think we're going to be able to do better than this. As you can see, settling into 3rd, Chastain trying to hold off Hamlin. He's got about half a second or so lead, and then I only have a few car lengths here on this 19 of Martin Truex Jr., who is really quick at this point in the race now. As we exit turn 4 on lap 77, coming to 78, Truex up the inside, side by side, down the front straightaway. I got nothing for him. Truex clear into turn 1. We drop to 4th. Truex on the move, and it's not going to be long until he runs down his teammate of Denny Hamlin for that 2nd and runner-up position. Hamlin's been running up a little bit further. You can see that middle lane he's kind of occupying right now, and Truex sure enough clears him on lap 80, moves into 2nd, about half a straightaway behind the 1 of Chastain, who dominated stage 1, fell off in stage 2, but he's come back strong here in stage 3. But Truex was closing a little bit here each lap. 17 to go, and I'm trying to roll in on this number 11 of Denny Hamlin, but my teammate of Allmendinger closing as well in the background here. 15 laps ago, Hamlin was actually starting to stretch out the gap between himself and I, and you can see that blob of white getting larger in my mirror until the point where Allmendinger's finally going to get up the inside into turn 1. Truex has run down Chastain at this point now. Within a few car lengths, Chastain had that 19 on his back bumper, so we dropped to 5th place. Byron as well, and Christopher Bell closing in the background, but Martin Truex Jr. to the lead with 10 laps to go from Richmond. Is he finally going to get that win that he was robbed of earlier in the season in Auto Club? The defending Cup Series champion, now a 2-time champ, looking to get to victory lane for the first time in this 2024 season. Byron putting on pressure here on lap 93. Now, how long can I hold him off? We only, of course, need to hang on for 7.5 more laps, but can I defend long enough? He's clearly faster, and so is a 20 of Christopher Bell here. Lap 96, 5 to go. We are now starting to work our way through some lap traffic. Here's Riley Herbst now, last season's Daytona 500 winner, now full-time for Rick Ware Racing, alongside Justin Haley there, the two cars that are full-time. As we go up the inside, we'll pass them there. Actually, got into the outside wall after the contact I made with them. But Byron's got Bell to his outside. That would get resolved pretty quickly, so it's just Byron and myself. Here comes Byron on the exit at 2. I'm slipping and sliding up the track. He takes 5th as smoke pours out of the 44 LMC machine of Trevor Bay and into the outside wall. The caution's gonna fly. Truex, oh no. Is this going to take another win away from the defending champion? It's gonna give us an overtime restart. It's gonna be Hamlin in 3rd, and we have seen time and time again 3rd place get aggressive on the restarts into turn 1. But surely Denny Hamlin wouldn't take a teammate 3 wide into turn 1, would he? Well, let's keep in mind they're both looking for their first win of the season. Row 3 on the outside. It's Truex Chastain in the front row. We're back underway from Richmond. 2 laps to go. NASCAR overtime in effect. Denny Hamlin's already peeking the nose out as we head into turn 1. A shot to the back of my teammate, and Hamlin, sure enough, takes Truex 3 wide up the inside. I overshoot the corner. Larson looks up the inside. Not enough there. I'm sliding on the exit of the corner. We save it. Hamlin's clear for the lead into turn 3. Corey LaJoie in the Andretti Global Machine up the inside. Byron to 2nd. Bell to 3rd. Truex dropping like a rock. White flag in the air. Denny Hamlin leads the way and looking for win number 1 now as we dive into turn 1. We'll settle in behind the 9 Coca-Cola machine of Elliott into the back bumper. A big stack up there. They're still going at it in front of us, but Denny Hamlin has stolen victory from Martin Truex Jr. through 3 in turn 4. No pressure for the FedEx machine. Hamlin, win number 1 of the 2024 season. We're going to barely hang on over Logano to get P9. I was slipping and sliding at the line. A shocking day for this team. I should have never been running this well from my past history at Richmond, so I will absolutely take it. SVG, I said the goal. Top 25, he got 22nd. A great day for Shane Van Gisbergen now as our teammate of Hemrick, 37th place, while myself and Allmendinger ran top 10, majority of this race here now. So what a day for us. A heartbreak again for Truex. Overtime changes everything. We've seen that time and time again in NASCAR, not only in the game, but in real life as well. How does that affect the playoff grid? You see the trucks in the Xfinity grids. Let's take a look at the Cup grid. So Hamlin locks himself into the playoffs, and now we are currently P9 in the playoff grid. The last driver, though, Christopher Bell, in by 9 points over Alex Bowman. 12 back for Blaney and Allmendinger. That's going to wrap it up for me. I'll see you guys in the next one as we continue the short track swing from Bristol. Have a great day, everybody.